know that you stole my heart. You're a thief. Give my heart back to me. Just give it back to me. Just give it back to me. Hey, hey.
Oh yeah, that was Louis L. Mackin. You know, today is Tell the Truth Tuesday. Oh yeah, without a doubt. That means tell the truth, but also accept the truth. There's nothing wrong with constructive criticism. Oh yeah, today we got some power guests today. Starting at 8 o'clock, we have the CEO of Omaha Housing Authority. And if you know me, then you know that I grew up in Omaha Housing Authority, Hilltop Projects. Shouts out to the projects. I'm still being made. Project means still being made. Well, at least that's my definition. But we have the CEO, the head of Omaha Housing Authority. She'll be here at 8 o'clock. We'll be talking about housing, what's going on with Spencer projects. And I know they are going to be doing some remodeling over there and changing it similar to what they did over at Pleasant View East, Pleasant View West, and former Hilltop area. So we want to talk to her about that, and then we want to see the future, because we do have some OHA residents that do have homes. We want to talk to her about the moratorium in regards to rent and mortgage payment. Make sure that no one is out on the streets. We actually supposed to love thy neighbor even more during these times. Without a doubt, baby. We're going to need each other even more. And so we have, after that, my man Scott Henerson from NMotion. NMotion is looking for businesses to incubate and participate in an accelerator. And so if you have a business, they're looking for you. If you're a minority business, they're looking for you. They want to invest in your business. And so I met Scott over the weekend. I went to the governor's economic summit in Kearney. We rehashed again. We met again. And we solidified today he'll come in and talk about his opportunities he have for our community. If you are a Black entrepreneur, you need to listen to Scott Henerson. He's going to have an opportunity to participate in an accelerated incubator where they will fund your business into conception. All right. The only way only monies that's coming down is through business. If you want to gain wealth, you have to develop business. God said that, oh yeah, he only gonna help the people that work. You can't be sitting on the sideline. This is what God said. Don't get mad at me. But if you're not working, you got an able body, able mind, and you just sitting on the sideline, you're gonna die real soon. Because your body has no inaction. You ain't take care of your body. You're fat, you're glutton. So today is Tell the Truth Tuesday. We're going to play some music today. I'm going to hopefully get a chance to download a new track by my man Brandon. I know he sent it. Well, someone sent it to me. He's in lockdown. Shouts out to Sarpy County Jail. I know they listen to us. with love, without a doubt. Shouts out to Dulles County Jail. You know, we do it for we do it for real over here at 95.7 The Boss. We are a research, we are a community radio station. Our goal is to modify our behavior so we become better people, better family members, and better citizens. This is what we do. We do it on purpose. You know, y'all do things on purpose in a negative sense. We here, boss listeners, oh yeah. Our goal is to improve our lives with someone's lives that we are associated with. All right. So let's go to some more music, y'all, and then be right back with y'all. Again, 8 o'clock, we got the CEO of Omaha Housing Authority, Joanie Poore. And then we have Scott Henerson coming at about 8:45 from NMotion. They're looking for a black business to fund, to conception, from ideal to conception, from abstract to the concrete. All right. And if you have a black business, if you have a startup, if you have an ideal for your business, this is the time. This is the time to get started. There's so much funding out here for startups right now. You have to be in the mix. You have to, oh yeah, show that confidence. Maya Angelou, the great Maya Angelou, who I've interviewed before, 2012, she said that courage is the first virtue. And if you don't have courage, you cannot develop any other virtue. This is from the greatest writer that have ever lived, Maya Angelou. So we got to have courage now because God is here for real. It's time to have courage. It's time to step up to devilish activities, devilish people of all hues, without a doubt, baby. Omaha, the burbs, the bluffs. We can play some more music. Boss with me. This is my man, Louis L. Mackin. This is what we do here. We actually love thy neighbor. Oh, yeah. Boss with me.
I wrote you a note about it, exhausted my pen. There's a misunderstanding, just read it again. Read it again, yeah. Read it again. There's a misunderstanding, just read it again. I wrote you a note about it, exhausted my pen. There's a misunderstanding, just read it again. Read it again, yeah. Read it again. I wrote you a note about it, just read it again, yeah. Just read it again. I know that this ain't a much your way. What I really wanna say, I know that you'd figure out something slick you could use just to make me wanna stay. I can't even look at your face, so I thought of a way I could still play my part. Girl, I just play it and safe. I'ma give us the space that you already created. I hate it, we never compromise. But then we lay it on top of all the lies. And I don't see why you're here if you ain't about the life. I'm picking you didn't notice the day the flower died. In my pit, read it again, read it again, and again. There's a misunderstanding, just read it again. So I wrote you a note about it, exhausted my pen. There's a misunderstanding, just read it again. Read it again, read it again. I wrote you about it. Beat it again. I tried my best to work with you. You think it don't, but it hurts me too. You're not in this all by yourself. In no time, you're with somebody else. Act like you care. Don't act like I wasn't there. None of my feelings were spared. Trouble is all in the air. I really wasn't prepared. You gave me all of the reasons for taking it there. Don't you know about it? Lost in my pen. Never misunderstanding. Just beat it again. Never misunderstanding. Just beat it. Oh, I don't you know about it? Lost in my pen. Never misunderstanding. Just beat it again.
Oh, yo, keep it rolling, y'all. We'll keep it rolling. Black Power.
Listen to me. On my life, I don't have no real enemies, but I know everybody is not a friend to me. I show my people love, that's why I always get it back. And I stand up for my family, one phone call I will attack. And real recognize real, so I don't see talking about my brothers, I'm talking about these snakes. They smile, but turning us against ourselves, killing all the black kings to keep the queens from getting out. We 40 cal, self-trained, so we don't need the army busting down my door. I wish these martial law try me. We some psychopaths, raised in the projects, and I ain't met a yeah, who can dodge a tech? Hey, cause this the year of the black power. We going all in, man, this shit is ours. Hey, we moving forward, ain't no turning back. The opposites is born in America, being black. Hey, cause this the year of the black power. We going all in, man. Forward, ain't no turning back. The odds against America being black. They call us militant and racist cause we still resist the brainwashing and genocide by this government. My people waking up and now at least we more conscious with plans of unity, but still we with caution and breaking the cycle of thinking like slaves. Gather up knowledge and unchain your brain to change the situation. Death is what our race is facing. We in a nation where they shoot us first, ask questions later. Black lives mean nothing in their eyes, we just a perpetrator. And marching, holding rallies, that's not doing nothing. We tried it Martin's way and still our people struggling. It's time to educate and elevate from all the hate. Our future generations is at stake. We don't have time to waste. Cause this the year of the black power. We going all in, man, this shit is ours. Hey, we moving forward, ain't no turning back. The odds against us born in America being black. Hey, cause this the year of the black power. We going all in, man, this shit is ours. Hey, we moving forward, ain't no turning back. The odds against us born in America being black. Black power, black power, black power, black power, black power, black power.
Oh, yeah. We'll keep it rolling, y'all.
Let's fade on the keys.
We the people that rise, we the people that hustle, we the people that struggle, we the people that fight for it, we the people that work, we the people that hurt, we the people that live. We the people survive. We the people that stand up. We the people that try. We the people that give. We the people that hope. We the people that want peace, but we the people that know. Ain't no peace when police killing in these streets. Ain't no love and it ain't no drug that's gonna change how it be. And at night I hear the shooting cause it wake me out my sleep. Damn, another brother died cause of crooked. People gotta speak, gotta rise up out the sea. Don't nobody really care. A brother die about every week. More killing from your brothers than the police. COP 12 one time and Blue Street. Supposed to protect the peace, but you act like our enemy. Run up on us with your pistols and put us down on our knees. Then you search us, don't find nothing and still don't want us to leave. You start shooting like it's a movie. We figure it's OV. We the people that rise. We the people that hustle. We the people that struggle. We the people that fight for it. We the people that work. We the people that hurt. We the people that live. We the people survive. We the people that stand up. We the people that hope. We the people that want peace.
Savages recreating our images as primitive. Definitive, based on race, what a disgrace. Man, that's ridiculous. It still ain't changing. It's sad to say. We gotta live through this. Living under tyranny, under guise of democracy, where people have a voice, so people living in poverty. Our hoods are still the same, where it's nothing but broken property, and jobs don't pay enough. More money comes from a robbery. Solution is to put us in prison.
Omaha style.
Listen, not understanding the issue, problems nobody fixing. They try and
oh yeah,
and still my brothers.
95.7 the boss today is Tell the Truth Tuesday.
We the people that rise. We the people that hustle.
Yeah.
We the people that struggle.
Yeah.
We the people that fight for it. We the people that work.
Yeah.
We the people that hurt.
North side.
We the people that live.
Right.
We the people survive.
We that people, y'all.
We the people that stand up.
We that people.
We the people that try.
West side, Omaha,
we the people that
burbs,
give.
the bluffs.
We the people that hope.
Oh yeah, we that people.
We the people that want
greatness
peace.
comes
We
from
the people
here,
that
y'all.
know.
Without a doubt, baby, we got the stats. Without a doubt, we got the stats. 24th and Lake, we got stats over here, baby. Without a doubt, the greatest come from here. We're gonna keep it rolling, y'all. Omaha styling. This is how we do it, y'all. Oh yeah, we that people, y'all. We're gonna keep it rolling. This is what we do, man. We actually love thy neighbor. Do you love thy neighbor? Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Today is Tell the Truth Tuesday, y'all. Oh yeah. Can you accept the truth? Oh yeah. Can you tell the truth? There's nothing constructive criticism. Oh yeah. That's just a sign of love. Where you at, mama? Where you at, dad? Oh yeah. Boss with me today. Today is 10th of August. Oh yeah. We'll keep it rolling, y'all. Keep it rolling. Omaha styling. Loot Squad. You know what? I'm a legend, y'all. Without a doubt. Check the stats.
You and me are not the same chick. Bloodline again, I'm off. Gang, I'm a king. Yeah, I'm a legend.
Oh yeah,
right
boy.
Now,
Omaha styling.
I'm a legend.
Man, we be jamming over here. We got God skills. I'm a king.
Yeah, I'm a legend.
Loot Squad, y'all. North side, Omaha.
I'm like Bruce Lee. When I enter the dragon, girl, I'm like Tech 9. When I enter hacking, I'm like Spike Lee, cause I do the right thing. Boy, I'm like Chief Keef, cause I'm gang. I am just like Malcolm, get it by any means. I am just like Martin Luther, even though I'm a king. I am Huey P. Newton, I'm black, I know I got the power. I am Hannibal Lecter, all these beats I devour. I am Wiz, I've been smoking back to back. I am just like you, I've been getting to the bag. I am just like me. I feel like ain't nobody better. I am just like Flame. But you know about what I'm a legend. You and me are not the same chick. Bloodline again, I'm off. Gang, I'm a king. Yeah, I'm a legend. If I die right now, I'm off. Legend, I'm a legend. You and me are not the same chick. Bloodline again, I'm off. Gang, I'm a king. Yeah, I'm a legend. If I die right now, I'm off. Legend, I'm a yeah, I'm a legend. Yeah, I'm perfection. How you gonna kill me? Nigga, I'm the weapon. I ain't worried about the killers. I ain't worried about the hitters. I'm worried about money and how we gon' get it. I'm rich. I'm full of them bags. I'm just like Hawk. I'm known to smash. I crash the beats. I stump the streets. I'm just like August. I'm known for heat. Fresh out the pot. I'm dripping with salt. Key to the whip. I'm known to take off. Squad the team. We all go off. but I'm totally best. Now who's the boss? I'm a legend. You and me are not the same chick. Bloodline, again, I'm off. Gang, I'm a king. Yeah, I'm a legend. If I die right now, I'm a legend. I'm a legend. You and me are not the same chick. Bloodline, again, I'm off. Gang, I'm a king. Yeah, I'm a legend. If I die right now. Son of the sun, I'm fully melanated. Black power, fist in the sky. Fully activated, captivate the mass when I speak. Every head bow indigenous. Glorify king, your precious man child. Blackfoot, color of copper. I came from the dirt. Legendary, mine in the sky. My body's mother earth. Walk through the valley of death. And from my cloth, I saw so many dreams. I'm in the den with the lions. Now they calling me Daniel. I went to sleep as a peasant. I woke up as a pharaoh. No longer will I walk, I'm riding on a camel. Zulu warrior, bow and arrow, eyes on the spirit. You and me are not the same chick. Bloodline, again, I'm off. Gang, I'm a king. Yeah, I'm a legend. If I die right now, I'm a legend. I'm a legend. You and me are not bloodline, again, I'm off. Gang, I'm a king. Yeah, I'm a legend. If I die right now, I'm off. Legend. I'm a
All right, Omaha. The birds, the bloods. Oh, yeah. That means you tell the truth, but also accept the truth. We're not talking about the truth that's lying. We're talking about the truth that's going to build you up. There's nothing wrong with constructivism. And that's what we're talking about. We got to build each other up. We're not perfect. You know, ye are mortals. So I got to speak to you on Bible sense. Ye are mortal. Ye are fallible. Ye make mistakes. But at the same time, we are intelligent mammals and we learn from those mistakes, and so we don't repeat them. And so this is always a teaching lesson. We are a research station. For those that have not listened to us before, the first of its kind, the only research radio station in the world. My homeboy said you got to be the best at something in the world. Why not? Why be mediocre? Why be mediocre? We have the CEO of Omaha Housing Authority. She'll be here at 8 o'clock. The great lessons that I learned in Hilltop Projects and are the ethics and the integrity that I live by today. And, you know, some people say, oh, you ghetto, but this ghetto brother built a radio station and an internet company. I hear you out there. Yeah, this ghetto brother is building a communication empire. And it's for my grandchildren and their children's. It's our responsibility as elders to leave conduits of opportunities for the next generation. That includes not only my family, but other people's family. I'm 56 in the mix, without a doubt, 56 in the mix. As you get older, you realize that, you know, life is not permanent. Life is not permanent. And as you young people listen, you know, we listen to hip hop all the time. I'm kind of ashy this morning. I probably need some shea butter or something. You know, young people, as you mature. I know you want to mature fast, but it's good to enjoy your age because you will get older, without a doubt. I didn't perceive I would be 56 right now, but it seemed like it was going slow, but it actually went kind of. Yeah, the time went 56 years went kind of fast. When I was, as a young lad. Yeah, I was a young lad. You know what I mean? I never perceived I'd get older. I was always with my mom and my daddy and my sister. They was the older ones. And now time has transitioned maturity. Johnny Rogers says best that black men live an average of 40 months. 740 months. That's not a lot of months to live. That's only age 61. The black man died earlier than every human being on earth. Why? Is it because we haven't connected with the mainland? And I call the mainland, y'all call it Africa. I had renamed it the mainland because Africa was conquered by, Africa is named after an African general that conquered the continent, the mainland. Some people call it Kemet, some people call it Egypt, some people call it Ethiopia. I mean, the whole continent. As you see, weather is getting worse. We got disease, pestilence, all the stuff they be talking about in Revelation is going down. And the preacher man is quiet. Shh. The preacher man is quiet. The preacher woman is quiet. I know we feeding people out here. I know churches have stepped up to feed people, but there's been also regular brothers and sisters that have done the same. That's what we're supposed to do as neighbors. These are the Henerson Hilltop projects. And so that's why I feel so glad we're going to have the CEO coming in at 8 o'clock to talk to you about the current state of housing. And then also to get over this perception that poor people have no self-worth. I'm telling you, baby, I am you. And if I can do it, a little kid with ashy elbows and ashy knees, except when I was in school, my mama, she made sure I had that Vaseline, boy. I was shiny and hot internally and hot externally. But I was that kid that people perceive, oh, he poor, they ain't going nowhere. Statistically, they're gonna end up in jail. But they didn't know my mama. And they didn't know my father. And so even though you might be in a situation that you don't want to be in, don't means you have to stay, and don't means that you will be in that situation. So today is Tell the Truth Tuesday. My goal today is to inspire you, inspire the greatness out of you, to spark that self-motivation that if that Negro could do it, I could do it too. So you gotta have some fun. Y'all too serious around here. Y'all too serious. Y'all peoples are too serious. Y'all people too serious. Y'all get tied up on words. Feelings get hurt. Good morning, Miss Lewis. Feelings been getting hurt. What's up, Tony Cannon? What's going on? You know what I mean? So, man, life is funny. So today, also we have Scott Henerson from NMotion. He'll be here about an hour. and he's investing in minority businesses. And he a white dude. He a cool dude. I mean, man, if y'all really Christians, y'all really Catholics, Jews, Muslims, and I mean, and don't y'all gotta do some work for God sometimes? I mean, really, ain't to look at the world. Ain't no God work being done. Can we do it one day for God? See, I'm a man marcher. See, we did it for God. October 16, 1995, we stopped the world. See, I come from that pedigree. I know it can happen again if we choose to. But y'all don't want to take no time out for God. Y'all just, everything y'all want, y'all begging. God got this. God got that. God got this. Young people, old people, they in their way. See, I'm 56 of them in the mix. See, but see, I'm not a 56 that sit on the couch. And you got male and female that sit on the couch. But God told you to take care of your body. Why are you sick? Why are you taking all those medicines? Because you're not taking care of your body. And then you want to blame your children, whomever else. I know it's Tell the Truth Tuesday. I mean, I gotta be tough today, y'all, because I'm cleansing myself. There's a young lady that there's a walk coming up, a couple walks coming up. We're gonna have to have Maxine come in. I just seen a commercial on. They put it on 95 point. They put it on 1690 AM. The one they do a walk for women every Tuesday and Wednesday. Excuse me, Tuesday and Thursday. It's basically open for everyone. But Maxine, she runs a organization. I wish Maxine would chime in. She runs an organization that associated with Strands of the Hearts, but also they do a walk every Tuesday and Thursday. Okay, here we go. Yeah, they do a walk. So let me see if I can go back to this.
Omaha, Nebraska, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. As required, there will be vendors and entertainment. Strands from the Heart, Walk for Week. Saturday, August 28, 2021, at Benson Park, Omaha, Nebraska, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. As required.
So there's going to be a walk that we're 28th, but I'm trying to get to this next clip because it's important, and we have a lot of women, and I don't want to talk about behind nobody back. I ain't one to gossip, but I want you guys to hear this. Let me see. Hopefully it come up. But as we talk about life and we talk about taking care of our bodies, okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. I want you guys to listen to this commercial.
African American women, we have a higher level of obesity, mainly due to our diet. We do love our soul food. Unfortunately, obesity is one of the main health risks for breast cancer. So I'm encouraging all those who want to strut to better health to join Sister Soulful Strut Walk, which meets on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 to 7 p.m. at Benson Park. Come on out and join us. It's free. Download Soulful Strut by Young Holt Unlimited and strut with us. I do not own the rights to this music.
Okay, so they doing that every Sister Soulful Strut every Tuesday and Thursday from 6 to 7. It's an hour. They meet at Benson Park and they walk. See, this is what we do talking about regards to Telling Truth Tuesday. We actually, supposed to help out our brothers and sisters. Now, everybody, I want to gossip, but obesity is a problem, and we got some men and women are celebrating their obesity. It's not a celebration. It's not a celebration. It's not a celebration because again, you have all types of um, after effects as far as diabetes, breast cancer, etc., etc. So we got to watch our diet. We had to watch our diet. We got to be proactive. And if we are obese, everybody have different body types. Then man, we got to do something. It took time to gain that weight. It's going to take time to get the weight off. But women, and we want to thank women especially. We have a lot of slim men in our community. We do. We have a lot of slim men. We want our women stay alive. You can't stay alive if you continue to be obese and continue to take these prescription medicines. We just had Dr. Russell Henerson in here last week during Native Omaha week. And he talked about, our diet. And I've changed my diet since he talked to me, without a doubt. I've been adding more fruits. I've stayed away from the feminine nuts of pecans and walnuts. I got me some Brazilian nuts. I'll bring one in, let you see what it is. Those are what men should be eating. And then like last week, I brought 2 watermelons. I know I ate one whole one for sure. And I probably ate the half of the other one. And man, I lost about 10 pounds last week. From last week for eating watermelon and so I had some bananas, had some cherries. What else I had? Apple. So I changed my diet for 1 week and I just ate a lot of watermelon. I was able to go to the bathroom a little more. So I lost 10 pounds in 1 week. So it does work. What the doctor says work. What Dr. Russell Herbals, you got to get it, man. He sells his stuff at No Name Nutrition. So Sister Soulful Strut, Thursday from 6 to 7 at Bishop Park. These fellas, you're welcome also. I'm pretty sure they're going to kick you out. They have a trail around Benson Lake. And so let's do it together. Sometimes you need positive reinforcement from other people, your other peers, to make it happen. Also, be a time to network and socialize if you've been in the house. If you're a sister, and if you know that you need to lose some weight, you're going out buying bigger clothes, or you're tired when you go upstairs, or et cetera, et cetera. We had Dr. Keisha Hawkins talking about what we need to do in health. That's actually a sign of loving yourself. And this comes on both sides, men and women. We're always evaluated, even when we out in being in social settings. We're always looking and critiquing someone else. Period. That's just a human nature. And people are wondering why you're lonely, and et cetera, because if you don't take care of yourself, that other person that's looking at you said, "Dang, she or he ain't taking care of themselves. Dang, how can they take care of me?" Isn't that a reasonable question? Isn't that a reasonable question? If you're not taking care of yourself, how can you take care of me or us? Now, also, I know some things are passed down, but a lot of this stuff is done on purpose because we choose to not obey, and we choose not to exercise. We choose to be lazy, for real. So my man Sherman Wells, I think he's going to have a race pretty soon, outdoors, barefooted. I know he's talking smack. I think they're supposed to be here Thursday. See, I'm 56 in the mix. I'll get out there. I don't care if you're 2 years old. I don't care if you're 86. We're getting barefooted. We're going to race. I think they're going to have to race down Car Lake. See, we got to have fun. I mean, life is too short. Miss Lewis said, if you know your blood type, Google what kinds of food you should and shouldn't eat for your particular blood type. I never thought about that. It could be beneficial for your health. Okay, that's a great idea because the blood cleanses everything, moves everything. I think the liver cleanse, according to Dr. Russell. But man, I mean, we want to see our women, stay alive. Our mothers, our aunts. And if laziness is a part of your death, then contributing to your own death. We don't have to die so young. And if you're not taking the vaccines, we have to take care of our bodies. When a black woman age, she like wine. Just get finer, finer when they take care of themselves. For real. Y'all know fellas, just like fellas, as long as men take care of themselves, they get more handsome as they get older when they take care of themselves. Black people are the only people on earth, if they take care of their skin, they can look incredibly younger than their age, than their chronological age. But if we don't get enough sleep, if we use too many chemicals, if we don't exercise, if we don't watch what we eat, Dr. Russell says that when we eat meat, it stays in our gut, in our, I think it's a prostate. No, it stays in our colon for 3 days rotting. He says it's important that we, add fiber to our diet. Ladies, the fellas love you. Obvious, because Mother's Day rank number 3 next to Christmas and Thanksgiving. Obviously, we love our mothers, and we don't want to see our mothers leave so soon. So let's take care of ourselves. I'm telling you, this is the time to focus on self. Improve your health, challenge yourself economically in regards to improving your education, starting your business, and healing yourself spiritually. This is the time, man. God is not going to give no more passes. It's Old Testament, baby. I don't know, y'all New Testament junkies. You better go to the Old Testament, because right now it's for real. So, sisters, we want to see you stay alive. And Miss Maxine, she's 70 something, and she looks great, in shape, and you wouldn't even know she's 70. You know why? Because she takes care of herself. I know she had cancer, and so she has transformed herself. So she's organizing this, a 70-year-old black woman, 70-something-year-old black woman. What's obese 27-year-old woman, when you got a 73-year-old woman out here doing it, still looking great, still running a business. She ain't quitting. She ain't retiring. She ain't retiring on our community. Shouts out to Maxine. So we had to bring her in. Sister Sofo Strut. That's every Tuesday. That's today at 6 o'clock. There's no excuse. So if you're a sister, you need to be out there walking with some other sisters, communicating, encouraging each other to improve one's health. What's wrong with improving your health? What's wrong with improving your health? What's wrong with feeling good? What's wrong with getting rid of all these prescription drugs you're taking? All you got to do is just love yourself. But how can you not love yourself and expect someone else to love you? And it goes to men and women. I'm talking about women right now because Miss Maxine, I seen the picture. She said she's 70. So I said, damn, she looking fine. Fine 70 something. You know why she fine? Because she take care of herself. Omaha, we got some new music. Before we play some new music, I got this next boss with me.
Theater down on the theater down on the theater down on the theater down on the
I show no ID, you know why? Cause I'm VIP. I got a pocket full of green, and you know what this means? That means that I'm VIP. Nothing but love when I'm up in the club. Why? Cause I'm VIP. You wanna hang with me? You wanna hang with me? Why? Cause I'm VIP. I'm VIP. The club, they already know who's the best in the club. From the east, come through, they show love and throw it up. I'm in the back. Cause I got that sex in the club. Pocket full of green, and I'm fresh as I'm fresh in the club. Yeah. Hey, I'm a party on. Yeah, I'm a party on. Mommy got Bacardi line, said it's party time. Damn, that Bacardi gone. Ain't killing my vibe, ain't killing my high. Yeah, I'm in my party zone. I got my drink and my two-step, I'm a party to the party gone until it's over. You know, I show no ID. You know why? Cause I'm VIP. I got a pocket full of green, and you know what this means? That means that I'm VIP. They show nothing but love when I'm up in the club. Why? Cause I'm VIP. You wanna hang with me? You wanna hang with me? Why? Cause I'm VIP. I'm VIP.
Hey, I'm on cloud 9. Up in the club, but I'm feeling fine. Never a nickel, baby, always a dime. And like 5. Better with time. On the dance floor, feeling fancy free. I represent my team, the 313. Yeah, we VIP. Dressed to impress, as you can clearly see. But this is crazy though. Yeah, this is crazy though. I'm the chick in the clique. Yeah, with that crazy flow. You need to stop all the hating. Yeah, you can save it, yo. You wanna roll with me? Meet me in yeah, and that's for Lady Rocky, that's me. Yeah.
I show no ID, you know why? Cause I'm VIP. I got a pocket full of green, and you know what this means? That means that I'm VIP. They show nothing but love when I'm up in the club. Why? Cause I'm VIP. You wanna hang with me? You wanna hang with me? Why? Cause I'm VIP. I'm VIP.
VIP, wide body, and your boy Reed came in on 10, and it's all on me. I could've did the long sleeve or the 2C. At the bar, buy it out like it's all on me. VIP, walk in, feeling all tipsy. It ain't a problem for the night because my dog with me. 10 on me right now, counting all 50. 745 back to back with the 550. I'm playing rolls in the parking lot on 4 Giottos. Thing on my wrist like a gold bottle. I walked in the club looking like I hit the lotto. Low key, mixed breeze, sipping on Moscato. I make it rain, make it flood, make the weather change. Tear the whole club up like a hurricane. VIP, spend it all, buying everything. Running through a whole 12 like a shoestring.
I show no ID, you know why? Cause I'm VIP. I got a pocket full of green, and you know what this means? That means that I'm VIP. They show nothing but love when I'm up in the club. Why? Cause I'm VIP. You wanna hang with me? You wanna hang with me? Why? Cause I'm VIP. I'm VIP.
Theater down on the theater down on the theater down on the theater
I show no ID, you know why? Cause I'm VIP. I got a pocket full of green, and you know what this mean? That means that I'm VIP. They show nothing but love when I'm up in the club. You wanna hang with me? You wanna hang with me? Why? Cause I'm VIP. Hey, when I step in the
yeah. Alright, Omaha, Las Vegas, smash. Yeah, Swiper, no swipe. Back up on the set, and still them broke ones ain't no piping. I'm in traffic like a license. Pitching with your vices. 10 times out of 10, I'ma get you righteous. Fifth front 50, push your pippy to the positive. Copped it where the Dodgers live. Stashed it where my Nana live. All I want is Gouda. You can be the loser. If it's nookie over dollars, I would never choose her. I prefer to get it dumping. Ain't no set position. Another day, another no. That's another mission. I pull it off like Michelle. Fourth and inch, yeah, they put some chippers on the books for my players bid in and hope the game never ever take me under where I'm running. Season politicking summer by summer. My dice roll up, down, maneuver, I'm back up now. Rainstorms, doggy, I be coming with that thunder, cause I'm about that. I'm just a shooter, this is how the dice roll. I maneuver for the moolah, taking off in flight mode. Feeling like them old boys trying to strike gold. Everybody hustling cause we all like dough. Smash a pump. He be crying up a river, smash a broke. She be acting like a snitch. They really hate my team. I be chillin', it's the cream that got me doing my thing. Car cloudy is the miss. Yeah, got a bunch of feelings, better bottle that. I'm yelling like the strippers, where them dollars at? Your girlfriend a stallion got a lot of back. If she ever wanna take me shopping, I'ma honor that. Real skrillin', speed, no riddling, gas. Got a whip dealerin', either fly or flop, it get hot, raw center. Inspectors in my piss again. Hustle till you ain't got a breath up. Then you go 48 hours like that meth up. Then you brick of 50s in my pocket, they done swept up in here. Diluted in the shooter, get respect up in here. Don't doubt that, I'm just a shooter. This is how the dice roll. I maneuver for the moolah, taking off in flight mode. Feeling like them old boys trying to strike gold. Everybody hustling cause we all like dough.
Done crucifix though.
It's Joy on the beats.
Who be the barber? Who be the down? Walking the Prada, what is the down? For me no logo, come me the down. That's the pistol, party now we from Puerto Rico. I'm the loco, the girl them go loco, we like the tacos. When I visit them from Mexico, take a road, you don't see fixed up. Atlanta to London, Nebraska to Lagos to Asia. We dey give them insomnia. Isabella, Maria, Alexa, Julie, and Gabriella. They keep sending love letters. Compressor. We make you feel nice. You don't realize. Anything when you like. Just make a booty bounce. For crucifix, party now we from Puerto Rico. The man them go loco. The girl them go loco. We like the tacos. When I visit them from Mexico. Take a road. The dog crucifix,
Baby, call me the double crucifix.
The only thing I know, is that I gotta get it. The only thing I know, Times getting hard, ain't no time to let up. Get through the day with some drink in the blunt. My girl counting on me, can't ever give up. Yeah. I don't give up what these people be thinking. I say to myself, got a million ambition, got 3 little. Yeah. Hey, I give it my all, everybody. You ain't talking money, then I'm deaf. The flow be on COVID, I go with the city. Drop red on my lady, can't put with it. Not slowing me down with your wicked intentions, yeah. Hey, knew I was made for this. You can't tell me nothing, yeah. I came out the flame and shit, and walked through the rain and shit. Yeah, I fought through the struggle, yeah. Said I fought through the struggle, yeah. Yeah. Instead I gotta get it, yeah. The only thing I know, yeah. I'm the realest in it, yeah. Came a long way off the lines with circles. Now I'm the captain, the colonel. Stay in the cut with an O of that purple. And then yo about to run it like Herschel. Right back with the new style, updated profile. For the top spot, I go the whole mile. Hey, tryna live that lifestyle. Getting looks everywhere I go now. Back then we was on the go. 30 packs scattered on the floor. Running through the door, running it, back to back. Steady state 3 days in a row. It's always been a plan, it's always been a go. Become a boss with a big bang roll. You little rabbit, can't fit my role. Can't stay in my lane cause they all just. I pray for this. You can't tell me nothing. You come out the flame and shit, and walk through the rain and through the struggle. Yeah. Said I fought through the struggle, yeah. The only thing I know, yeah. Instead I gotta get it, yeah. The only thing I know, yeah. I'm the realest in it, yeah.
It's all in the way you touch me, baby. It's all in the way you're loving me. Ooh, you driving me crazy. I want you, baby. So bring your body next to me and let's explore the boundaries of love, leaving nothing left in between. Been waiting for this moment to be seen, and I'm gonna give everything, and I'm gonna be loving you and loving you. I just can't get enough of loving you and loving you. I'll never give it up. The way you touch my body, it really turns me on. I'm gonna be loving you and all of the above. I'm mesmerized by the look in your eyes. It's oh so very enchanting. One taste of your lips and I'm so intoxicated, yeah. So bring your body next to me. Let's explore the boundaries of love, leaving nothing left in between. Been waiting for this moment to be seen, and I'm gonna give everything. I'm gonna be loving you. I just can't get enough of loving you. I'll never give it up. The way you touch my body, it turns me on. And I'm gonna be loving you, love, 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 love. Oh, love, 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 love. And I'm gonna be loving you and loving you. I just can't get enough of loving you. I'll never give it up. The way you touch my body, it really turns me on. And I'm gonna be loving you, and I'm gonna be loving you and loving you. I just can't get enough of loving you. I'll never give it up. The way you touch my body, it really turns me on. And I'm gonna be loving you. Let's explore the boundaries of love, leaving nothing left in between. Waiting for this moment to be seen, and I'ma give everything.
You guys know that's Anjali and Timeless. That's original track, baby. You know, they are a band from North Omaha. You know how we do here at 95.7 The Boss. We actually show love to our neighbors. These are the ethics I keep telling y'all when I learned at Hilltop Projects. These are the ethics that created survival for the neighbors. I didn't know I was po. Not when you had neighbors that love each other. And our words was our bond. Yes, yes. And now, you know, that was in this. Now we have a new leader of OHA, CEO. She just pulled up on me. She heard that I grew up in Hilltop. She just pulled up on me. And, you know, I got to open the door. No, we had a plan. We had this plan. So I'm getting everything situated. I think I got everything situated. Let me see. We're going to get right into this interview, y'all. You know how these stars are, Omaha. You know how these stars are. They got their own nouns, verbs, adjectives, prepositional phrases, all yes, and predicates to introduce themselves. I'm going to let her introduce herself, and then we're just going to get right into a dialogue. I had a chance to meet her over at Spencer Housing Projects a few months ago during summertime. They had a big old thing. I think it was early. It was a few months ago. It sounded like it was like a collage now because it's beginning of the summer, really. And so we had a chance to coordinate, and then her assistant Michelle, she did her little thing, did her magic thing, and now she's here. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, and then let's see what's on your mind. How you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me, Mr. King. I really appreciate being here. So hi, everyone. I'm Joanie Poore. I am the CEO of the Omaha Housing Authority. I've had the honor of leading that organization for a little over 2 years now. Okay. So I really appreciate that opportunity and being available to our community and learning more about the Housing Authority. Since I've been there, I've been in the community working for a long time prior to the last couple of years. Right. But the chance to get to know OHA has been really an honor of mine. And as you said, we met down at Spencer Homes during an event. I think it was in June, and we have the opportunity to transform that 30th Street corridor. So we're pretty excited about that.
Yeah, without doubt. Now, give us a little background, about yourself, because everyone always have a misperception that people aren't from here. They come from the outside. They don't know the community, and they got to start all over again. Let us know where you from, where you go to school at. Because I brag off my education. I don't know if you're ready.
There we go.
See, I brag off my
education. Go
Midland. Without doubt, my mom couldn't read or write, but she knew the importance of education as a young lad growing up in Hilltop Projects, because she made sure that I went to school at Howard Kennedy.
Right.
Right down the street. And so and there's still a lot of kids that's going to Howard Kennedy from the Spencer
Absolutely. So for me personally, I was born and raised in Council Bluffs. I went to Lewis Central High School and graduated from there.
Okay.
I moved on and went to Iowa Western Community College for the first 2 years, graduated, and then transferred over to College of St. Mary. I lived out in back then it was West Omaha. Now it's like Midtown, I guess, I suppose, with how far out West Omaha is. But while I went to college, lived out there for a little while, then came back. My family and I am married. My husband, Jared, and then we have a daughter, Kate, who's going to be a sophomore this year. And we live out in Underwood, Iowa now. But I've spent my entire career working in both Southwest Iowa and in Omaha. While I was with Heartland Family Service for the 15 years before I came to OHA, I had the opportunity to oversee all the programs that served individuals and families who were experiencing homelessness, domestic violence, sexual assault, and trafficking survivors, as well as refugee populations. So throughout Omaha. And so I've had the opportunity to do that for a number of years.
Okay, so you're from this community, because I always give shouts out to the burbs and the bluffs, without a doubt, man. Because I see them reach all the way to the bluffs and bounce back to us. And so so you're from this community?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely consider Omaha, Council Bluffs home when we're out traveling. People are like, "Where are you from?" I often say Omaha because most people don't always know where Council Bluffs is. But definitely consider Omaha and the metropolitan area to be home for us.
All right. It's always good, get a good sense of new leadership, because when you listen to other media outlets, there's always a soundbite or someone just write a little paragraph about you, but you never know if the real person. So sure. I'm really glad that people get to know the real person and the real leadership over at Omaha Housing Authority. But now you guys are in transition, especially at Spencer is transition similar to what happened over at Pleasant View, Pleasant East and West, and Hilltop is transition. Spencer is transitioned. Can you give us a kind of outline on how that's going to roll out?
Sure, absolutely. So Spencer Homes is 111 units, and what's going to happen is eventually it will all be demolished and there will be replacement housing that's built. So through a partnership with the city of Omaha, OHA, 75 North, our developer Brinshaw, and I'm sure lots of other partners as well locally and at the national level with HUD. We've come together. HUD awarded a $25 million grant about 2.5 years ago to help kickstart and continue the broader revitalization effort that really had been started by 75 North in our community. So the Highlander was already built and in place. And then the next component of housing was Nobility Point. Nobility Point is open and operating and sits, right up at the top of the hill. I love that it's called Nobility Point because it's the top, it's the highest, the top, the point. And that's our senior housing. So our first 6 households between February and March this year relocated from Spencer to Nobility. That's our seat that moved. And then we've been working through the rest of the summer with our families who want to move with a voucher. So that's where they get to pick where they live in the community. So we've got about 30 some families out there looking right now. And some of them have already found their new apartment and where they want to live. And then we've got a handful who want to stay with public housing. About we didn't know we were poor, we didn't know there were issues, we were a family, we supported one another. A lot of families find that support in public housing and want to stay in public housing, so we have a handful of families who will be transferring from Spencer Homes to another one of our properties, and then we do have a handful of tenants who want to come back and live on the housing that will be at Spencer once it's redeveloped. So they'll have to move a couple times. Obviously, we've got to move them in order to demolish and construct new, and then they'll come back, and that's a little further down the road. So Nobility Point went up. That's that senior housing. That's 60 units. Next up is going to be Overlook Burdett and Wade. So the Overlook is townhomes, and Burdett and Wade is some townhomes and an elevator building. So a multi-story apartment building that's going to be coming online. I brought the numbers with me. Let me look. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing.
Now the Housing Authority is always right. Housing Authority is not going nowhere, right?
The housing authority is not going anywhere at all, and neither is public housing either. This is going to be transformed. So one of the things that you probably learned when you lived at Hilltop was that while there was lots of support and lots of care and concern, there was also sort of this feeling that that's where the poor people live, and that's not for me if I'm not, if I don't consider myself to be poor. What we want to do with this community and what's happening through this partnership across this 30th Street corridor is that whether you are looking for housing from a market rate perspective, from a workforce housing perspective, or from a more deeply assisted public housing perspective, you have a home, and the people who live next to you might have assistance and might not. But no matter which development you live in, you have the opportunity to live in the same thing that anybody else would.
Okay, so as these individuals transition from apartment, will they have the first option once that the new is
Absolutely they do. So with Nobility Point, the senior housing that went up, there are 18 project-based vouchers in that. So each building, each location, each development, we're trying to look at about a third market rate, a third workforce, and a third with that deeper subsidy with a housing voucher kind of situation. So 18 of those 60 units at Nobility Point have assistance from OHA in those units. And our senior tenants at OHA had the right of first refusal. So like I said, 6 of those tenants chose to move there. And then we brought in 12 other households from the community that are living in those units. And then with every other location, our households at Spencer will have the ability to relocate. They have the right to return.
Okay, great. Because I know that was one of the, I know you wasn't here in regards to, people being moved out of Hilltop and Pleasant View East and West, and they have no option to come back to the community. And we didn't want that repeated because, those people are from North Omaha. In order to develop commerce, they talk about that you need so many people per square mile. And if people are being sent out in other areas, and if you build this up, then we're going to lose that population base. And we need grocery stores and retail stores, et cetera, et cetera.
Right, exactly. We don't, I wasn't here for Hilltop and for Pleasant View, but my understanding is certainly that happened without the care and concern that we have today for making sure that these families aren't just forced out and made to go somewhere else. If this is your community, if this is where you live and you want to continue to live here, we want to make sure that is a place where you feel that it's home, that it's not just tokenistic. It's not just, you could come back, but you don't feel comfortable here. So that's super important. And exactly what you talked about, you need to have enough people and enough income sources for whether it's a Subway or some other sort of restaurant, whether it's a grocery store, whether it's a gas station, those different places for people to live and to work and to shop and to do those different things and to have that economic investment. I'm not sure what your first job was. My first job was a couple miles from my home. I was a host and a server at a restaurant in Council Bluffs. It's not there anymore, but it was just a couple miles from my house. And if you look at this neighborhood, if you think from really Hamilton down to Spencer, there's Walgreens, there's a couple gas stations, but there's not a lot of opportunity for people to get a job. If and whether you're a young person or whether you're a grown adult, living and working in your neighborhood is beneficial for you and for your household. If you have to travel a half an hour, 45 minutes one way to work, that's time away from one's family. So we've got to have those economic opportunities in the neighborhood.
Without doubt. It is important, and hopefully we've learned by our mistakes. And you got some of the same players, and I grew up, and I want them to feel it. And like I said, you wasn't here, but I'm glad you're making the right decisions to make sure that those individuals have the first refusal if they want to come back to this community, because it's important. It's important. We were already divided by the highway. I've heard a lot of history of what has been done here in North Omaha. And that's why I really wanted to hear your background to let people know that you're actually from here and you're actually vested in here.
Absolutely. And I think one of the other important things too is recognizing the history around public housing, how public housing came about. The government initially created public housing as a response to a lack of housing after World War II. And what the government did was they took neighborhoods and communities that were integrated and they segregated them. They said that here's housing for whites and here's housing for blacks, and they separated it. And then when white flight took place and people and redlining happened and whites were encouraged and allowed to move out to the suburbs and blacks weren't, then what we were left with was what became quote unquote the projects. And then what happened was we dead-ended streets and we made super blocks. And we need to take that infrastructure down. We need to tear that down and we need to rebuild. We need to open streets back up. Neighborhoods that are well functioning are easy to access into and out of. Right. And that should be the same case, whether that is Spencer proper or other neighborhoods in and around the community. It's really important that we recognize where we came from, because that's still what we're experiencing today.
Now, the facility up at 75 North, it is beautiful. And also it has a facility where it has created commerce, because it has where you can go socialize, create events, which also creates commerce for the community.
Exactly.
Has food restaurants in there.
Local food restaurants, which is great.
Restaurants and coffee shops. And so is that the same type of atmosphere that's going to be?
So I don't think we want to completely try to duplicate. We have Highlander, right? And so what we will have though in a variety of these buildings is mixed use. So we'll have some commercials, main levels, and then apartments above in the larger buildings that we have, and then there'll be some single family homes, some townhomes, those different pieces. So there will definitely be that feel of there's a business here in addition to residential locations. With Highlander being so close, like I said, I don't know that we need to completely duplicate that, and you don't want something 2 blocks away competing, but you want to bring that same feeling down the street as well.
I agree with you, because I mean, restaurant, I think you probably need to expand more restaurants in there to make that be more incubator. I know on the old Creighton Hospital,
right?
Of course, you got the apartments on top, and you got the nice bars and commercial area. I mean, I think that's necessary so we can have small businesses also, right, to benefit and hire those individuals that's living in those residents.
Well, you want to hire people that live there. The people who live there want to support those establishments and visit them. And then also you want to have enough businesses that people in the community want to come here and they feel like, hey, I've got options. This is a destination for someplace to eat or someplace to hang out with my friends. And it's not just one place, and if they're packed, I can't get in. That there's a couple of options and a couple of choices there. And so we really want to see that throughout the corridor.
I have to be selfish a little bit, especially when it's a lot of blood and tears that happens in these streets and happen over in those projects.
Absolutely.
It's going to be as a Black entrepreneur, and there's other Black entrepreneurs, will we have the opportunity to bring franchises in there first? Because some are going to be local businesses, but some of us want to bring franchises also in those in these new opportunities.
Sure.
And you might not be the first person to ask, but you do have some influence because you guys are partnering with 75 North and other individuals.
Absolutely. So what I can tell you is that it's definitely a priority for us to look at both small businesses, local owned, Black owned businesses, business owners, and who wants to be in the community. And then also thinking about as well what makes sense for the community. I heard once, and please hear this, that I'm against, specialty sandwich and bread shops, because that's not, I love me some special bread.
Right.
Also, though, in a community that's maybe, an expensive, nice loaf of bread maybe isn't the first thing this community needs. Right. So that's one of the things that we're thinking of too, is so in addition to local, in addition to making sure, and not just local, but local persons of color, people who live in this neighborhood, people who want to continue to live, to invest in this neighborhood, but also things that are reasonable and attainable. If you know, again, if I need a sandwich, I want to go to a place that I feel comfortable getting that sandwich from.
Right. Well, we need a bakery to be good.
A bakery would be good, absolutely.
I mean, it's things like that where you actually are producing something,
right,
and it's actually creating commerce. Would be great.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know about you, but when I go to Hardy, I've got to have one of those cinnamon rolls.
Oh, yeah,
right.
Yeah,
so like, so you're kind of known about, like,
yeah.
You're like, hey, I can come here, and they're sort of known for those things, for those sweets or those other pieces that are there. When you can't get Big Mamas anywhere else. So those are, I think, making sure knows what's available here, and that it isn't just another restaurant that you can go get someplace else, that it's truly unique to this community.
Great. Yeah, anything else that's on the horizon for OHA?
Sure. In addition to the Spencer Homes redevelopment and this partnership that we have, we're also looking at the Southside Terrace development as well, which is much bigger. It's about 3 times the size of Spencer Homes. And so we're in implementation, meaning we're already redeveloping down here, up north here. And then down south, we're just in an early planning phase. We are working on wrapping up a transformation plan where we've gathered feedback from the community, whether that's our residents, neighborhood folks, stakeholders in the community. And by this fall, we hope to have a pretty solid draft of what's going to happen there, and then start working on that. So in the same way 75 North has been dedicated in this community for a number of years, we want to work with our partner Canopy South in the city as well down south. So that's probably the next big thing.
Great. Omaha, the burbs, the bluffs. We're talking to CEO, the current CEO of Omaha Housing Authority, Joanie Poore. And that's with an E. Now, I'm a jokester too. Now, with a name Poore,
I know, right?
With a name Poore, I'm
working at the housing authority.
What does your name mean?
Sure. So I don't know the full origin of my name. My husband often jokes. He's like, well, we were poor, but we churched it up, is what he always says. And so I get a kick out of that. I appreciate his dad jokes when it comes to our name. But yeah, definitely. For me, housing's always been a part of what I've done. And so I think that's really at the core of what's important to me is, and I'm sure as you've talked, as I've heard your passion and your care about where you grew up, that's your foundation. That's the thing from which you return to when things don't work out, but it's also what you launch from into the rest of your life. And if you don't have a good, stable place, then that's a concern. OHA for a long time has had lots of opportunity to improve, and we're going to continue to do so. Spencer's just got this really great partnership around it to make it happen.
Well, a couple of people on Facebook, I'm trying to acknowledge, I'm trying to be a better steward. Miss Jones said, good morning, Joanie P. Thanks for coming on the show with this information.
You're welcome. Thank you for listening. I appreciate that I can answer a few questions and give the information. I think there's always questions and sometimes great information, sometimes rumors. So I'm happy to answer.
Steve Abraham says, great rising. And so I know Steve.
Yep. Hi, Stephen.
Yeah. On the board as a citizen, right?
Yep. He was a resident commissioner. Absolutely. And now he's a great partner working at Charles Drew. We appreciate all of his ongoing partnerships with the housing authority. Yeah.
You guys do anything else that's gonna the great Carl Tibbs. I don't know if you had a chance to meet Carl before he passed. Used to work with you guys. We used to do a lot of stuff during the summertime before you came on. Now, how long have you been CEO?
I've been here for just a little over 2 years.
Over 2 years?
Yep.
Okay.
Through the COVID.
Yeah, heck yeah. So that was a downtime.
That was it's stuff and still in the middle of, right? So it's learning how to lead differently, for sure.
So the timeline on Spencer, is that going to start next year?
So demolition will likely be probably around this time next year for Spencer, and then also the former MLK, the Martin Luther King building, where our Section 8 department used to office out of. That location will also be demolished. So there'll be apartments that go on that site, as well as Spencer West. I do want to be clear that we do plan to demolish Spencer East, but we do not plan to put housing back on that site. We're not 100% sure what's going to happen there just yet. There aren't solid plans. But what we do know, like you talked about, the interstate's a huge divide. Right. It's really kind of two different communities to a great extent. And so what we wanted to make sure of was that services, Howard Kennedy, the Highlander, those sorts of things are readily accessible. So initially, all the redevelopment's going to be on the west side. On the east side, we're going to try to work with partners. I know Neighborhood Action, in fact, is super involved in that area. So just looking at what does that neighborhood need and how can we activate that land? We don't need another just blank, empty piece of land, but we don't want to jump into something that doesn't make sense for the community either.
But there's more houses on the east side of. Okay, I know the projects all over there.
Yep.
My homeboy live right across the street. I got another young lady that live on the west side of the east side of those projects, and so more houses, or it can be turned into a nice.
More houses, maybe a green space park area, maybe some business. I'm not sure. You do have the bridge over the interstate, so there's some accessibility there that we want to make sure we capitalize on too.
I would love to have an amphitheater.
Some outdoor entertainment space, sure.
Yeah, because we have nothing like that here in North Omaha.
Right, absolutely. Well, and I know that North Omaha comes out in force when there's activities and there's things to do. Yep. So yeah, I think something that capitalizes upon that.
Yeah. So all right. So if you guys got a plan, make sure you get it to.
Send it my way. We definitely aren't locked in yet. We don't know what's going to happen.
You guys got any ideas for public meetings before they actually I guess turn the dirt per se? If you want to participate, how can they participate in the process?
So in the day and age of social media, definitely stay connected on social media. Like and follow Omaha Housing Authority's page. We will absolutely have more public meetings. We definitely have turned to Zoom and all of those different things in light of the pandemic. And over the last year, had several meetings that we hosted over Facebook Live or over Zoom. We will be having meetings coming up about Kennedy Square. Kennedy Square is what we're going to be calling the development that will be on the current Spencer site.
Okay.
So we'll have. We want to hear what people have to say when we get a little bit more on some preliminary drawings. We want to present those preliminary drawings and be able to say, hey, community, what do you think about this? What makes sense here? So definitely follow us on social media would be probably the easiest way to plug in and find that information.
Okay. All right. I do want to make a suggestion. I know we got Howard Kennedy School. We'll have no Martin Luther King Street. We'll have no Malcolm X. And Malcolm X is from here. I will want to consider naming this after a black.
What do we do? Sure.
Black. I know we love Kennedy, and that's why we go to Howard Kennedy.
Right.
But there's a lot of black blood that's on those streets, and
sure.
And Kenny was a part of our legislative process, but Johnson was actually one that actually passed it.
The other thing that we've thought of too is, are there local leaders, either current or historic leaders, that need some recognition as well, not just national? So one of the things that we're looking at, because we know taking down the building, the MLK building, that takes down a building that has that name in the community. So one of the things we're working with Highlander on are some community focus groups, some community meetings to talk about what do people want to see? Community space, community gathering space, like what is available at Highlander is important. Mm-hmm. So how do we make sure that that's available to everyone in the community? And maybe we need to have some naming for some of those spaces as well.
Without doubt. But please consider that for those that are in that decision-making chair. I just at least want to plant the seed so they can start considering I mean, because if sometimes you're not, and that's why I asked you if you're from here, if you invested here, if you're not invested here, you don't think about those things. Yeah, I mean, um, I really love our neighbors. So we play Omaha music, we play neighborhood music because a lot of people don't. They say even a prophet don't get love in his own city, and that comes from God. But we're gonna change that. We got to change that perspective because um, the ethics that I learned at Hilltop Projects have propelled me and guided me throughout life. My word is bond. When we borrow sugar or eggs, our word was bond. When we said we were going to return it, we did it.
Right.
So, but today they use contracts because there's lack of trust. So,
Right.
so this is a new world to me. When I grew up in the old world, when your word was bond, and so it's kind of hard to deal with those that don't have that's unethical because man, you can't stand in a room with a person that's ethical because the ethical person always gonna point you out. At least I am if you're unethical because of the way I grew up.
I think that it's important that we make sure that we aren't doing for. I think oftentimes, whether it's organizations or individuals, they want to come in and do for a community. And that's about an individual, right? That's about, oh, I feel good doing this. It isn't about me. It's about the people we serve. So how do we help lift up and give the opportunity to those we're serving and hear their voices, and not come in and say, oh, well, we think we're going to do this. Does that sound okay?
Right.
Certainly we can say, here's the parameters, right? Like, here's the things we can and can't do. But how do you as a community want this to look? How do you want to be involved? What do you want to do in this space? And how can you feel welcomed? Is this, at the end of the day, is your home and your community, and we're here serving in it, not leading it. It's got to look a little different than what it's looked like in the past.
Appreciate you. I'm glad you're at the table to bring a different approach because when you're talking about dollars and cents, most people are focused on the bottom line and they really don't care about that they so-called service. They just want to get it built and the money is in a pocket. But I live here. I'm not going nowhere. I'm going to continue to fight, for this, for the betterment of this community. I am a product of Hilltop Project, and I've created greatness, without a doubt. I've created greatness, and I always talk to those that are growing up in those same environments. That if I can do it, a kid from Hilltop Projects, a mama couldn't read or write, but she made sure that I made great decisions and make sure I got my education. If a woman like that picked cotton for y'all for free, I mean, if I can do it, then you can do it. But and that's why I tell my story because other people's perception of us that grew up in the projects that we ghetto or that we don't have the intelligent wealth to change the world.
Sure. And I think people mistake oftentimes and quote unquote book smarts for the only thing to value. There's I'd imagine we could fill an entire another show with you telling me the things that you learned from your mom, and whether or not she could read or write wasn't really terribly relevant in the love, care, concern, support that she provided to you and likely to your neighbors from what I've heard you talk about. And that is immeasurable. And we need all kinds of things. We can't in a community say, well, we just want these super smart people or this really educated component. Oftentimes there's some disconnects there in understanding where people came from and what folks are going through in the reality that exists every single day. And whether it's just love, care, and concern, that's equally as important as the highly intelligent or whatever contributions that people make. They often say, what do people say? What's the saying that you might forget what somebody you'll never forget how someone made you feel.
Right.
And that's true, right? And so I think at the end of the day, that's probably what's much more important. Highly influential people come in all shapes, sizes, and educational backgrounds.
Without a doubt. And you said you hit it right on the nail is feelings, and sometimes we gotta respect other people's feelings, especially when you come into. Miss Poore, is there anything else that we didn't discuss this morning that you want to make sure that you get across?
I think just that at OHA we're trying to improve. We're trying to make sure that we are present and learning, and we've got a long way to go. One of the things I continue to talk about is that every single one of our units that we own and or operate needs to be a place that anyone would want to live. We're not quite there yet. We're going to get there. Obviously, Spencer's under this redevelopment because it needs to be something different. But across the board, across all of our properties, we're looking at what needs to be done and how do we improve, and how do we rely on the community for some support for that, whether financial support, whether that's political capital, whether that's services, because we know that our tenants need additional support. But really, we're trying to improve, trying to partner. And I'm grateful for the opportunity. Thank you for inviting me to talk about this. I'm super passionate and excited to see what comes next for this neighborhood.
Without a doubt, you're always welcome back.
Thank you.
You're on a home team.
Yay.
When you're on a home team, oh yeah, you get certain perks. Without a doubt. Omaha, the Burbs, the Bluffs. We're talking to CEO of OHA, Omaha Housing Authority, Joanie Poore. That's with an E. Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
And she is from this community, and she's now leading our community. And so, any way you can assist, any ideas that you might have on the redevelopment of Spencer as well as South Omaha, because I went to Bryan High. One of my second jobs, I worked at Woodson Community Center right across from the current South Omaha YMCA. I think that Victory Boxing is in that center right now. But that's one of my first seated jobs, Bryan High. So I used to hang out in those projects.
So you got that connection across the way too. Yeah. Exactly. Before you let me go, one other super important thing for today is that for all the listeners, OHA is opening today. Actually, about 42 minutes ago, we opened our pre-application process for our Section 8 wait list.
Okay.
So I want to make sure all the listeners know that if they or anybody else is in need applying for Section 8 or Housing Choice Voucher programs, our wait list, it's an online process, and it's open from today at 8 a.m. through next Monday at noon.
Let me ask you a question. Since you talk about Spencer's, how many doors do they have on doors at Spencer right now? And then how many doors after they complete the building will they have, especially if they apartment?
Sure. So as far as number of units, right now there's 111 units at Spencer Homes, and when we are all done, there's going to be between about 400 to 500 total units in the community, and so it's a lot more. So that's one of the things when we transform the community, we don't want to just take and say, okay, let's tear down Spencer, build it nice, and then move everybody back in the same way. Really, it's about saying we need to have that income mixing, that experience mixing. So all the developments will have all income levels, and that's why we have so many more units in the neighborhood. Also, for anybody who lives in or spends time in this community, there's lots of land to activate, right? We want to see, not empty lots, but things that are either homes or economic opportunities or education or transportation or whatever the case is for the community. So activating that land and making sure that there's good use. So there's going to be over 400 units in the community by the time it's all said and done, not just on Spencer proper, but throughout.
Great. Scattered site housing, is that still a priority, just to get people in homes, transition them to actually homeowners also? So
we definitely work Sal Osaka. Anytime I say Sal, I get lots of nods. Sal and his wonderful team and all that he's done in the community. So Sal's team works with anybody in our public housing or in Section 8 to if they want to work towards home ownership. And there's a program to do that. Scattered site housing is separate from that. We do definitely still have, I think, about 500, maybe a little bit more than that, scattered site houses in the community that are public housing. And so there's opportunities for individuals to live. We have towers, we have multifamily buildings, and then we have our single family homes as well.
Okay, great. All right. If you guys got any other questions about OHA, you guys got a great background. We appreciate you. You're always welcome. I know Sal, and then also I work with Brian.
Yes. Yeah.
A great deal. And so, no, we appreciate your leadership. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we're really happy that you're actually from the community.
Thank you so much.
It makes it different. It does make a difference.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the big things is knowing what our community has been through. I don't have everybody's experiences by any measure, but certainly understanding what Omaha and Council Bluffs and the surrounding area has been through is helpful. That's one hill I don't have to climb.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Sure.
Without a doubt. Well, we appreciate you. Omaha, the Burbs, the Bluffs. We're talking to CEO of Omaha Housing Authority, Joanie Poore. She's all right, y'all. We'll give her a thumbs up.
Thank you,
Without
Mr.
doubt,
King.
without a doubt. No, I'm not. No, she when like I said, I met her in June. She's not scared. And obviously she love the people, and so we want to make sure that we support her in any way we can. All right, we're gonna take a musical break real quick. Hope we take some pictures, and then hopefully our next guest is here. All right, boss with us.
Yeah,
we're gonna take you over to the mainland. Cushion Snazzy, he from Togo, y'all. Oh yeah, boss with us.
Walk low, my walk low. Come on, challenge me walk low, walk low, walk low, walk low. Challenge me walk low, walk low, walk low, walk low. Challenge me walk low, walk low, walk low, walk low. Challenge me walk low, walk low, walk low. Don't mind nobody, when you spend your money. Don't mind nobody, when you buy Bugatti. Don't mind nobody, when you spend your money. Don't mind nobody, when you buy Bugatti. Anything you do, people gotta talk. When I listen to them and I wish you love. Hustle every day, wanna see the top. And they ain't gonna love it, they gotta talk it. Whether you good or bad, people always gotta talk it. You can do anything about it. Man, don't even try to change it. Challenge me walk low, walk low, walk low. Challenge me walk low, walk low, walk low. Challenge me walk low, walk low, walk low, walk low. Challenge me walk low, walk low, walk low. Don't mind nobody, when you spend your money. Don't mind nobody, when you buy Bugatti. Don't mind nobody, when you spend your money. Don't mind nobody, when you buy Bugatti. Feel the quick go like yare, the more when the panya ware. But mine I made it go. Tell them they walk low. Feel the quick go like yare, the more the panya ware. Le Facebook I jare. Tell them but mine I made it go. Could be walling one man, but to be walling one man. If I say nigga shit, walk low, my walk low, walk low, my walk low. Many years ago, don't go ask me, let my man. What do? I love the calic one man. They calacota. But if I go, me, plant on the pose, you don't say it. I love the calic one man. They calacota. If I go, me, plant on the pose, you don't say it. The moon, they walk low. When they walk low. The moon, they walk low. When they walk low. The moon, they walk low. When they walk low. They walk low. When they walk low. Don't mind nobody, when you spend your money. Don't mind nobody, when you buy Bugatti. Don't mind nobody, when you spend your money. Don't mind nobody, when you buy Bugatti. Hey, ha, hey, ha. DJ Larry Papa, Magnum Music, Marina Rosa, DJ Fu. Hey, hey, ha.
Came to dream on the beat.
All right, Omaha, the Burbs, the Bluffs. We want to thank CEO of Omaha Housing Authority, Joanie Poore, coming in and giving us the 411 of what's happening over at Spencer Projects. Our next guest, my man Scott, came all the way down from Lincoln. I heard he was speeding. I got connections with the Highway Patrol. You know what I mean? I got connections, y'all, with the Omaha Sheriff Department. They already told me he was speeding, but I told him let him go. I told him let him go. He got an important meeting. You got to be here for. And so, you got to have some clout, baby. You got to have some clout. You know how these stars are, Omaha. You know how these stars are, especially if they from the state capital. Oh, yeah, they got their own nouns, verbs, adjectives, prepositional phrases, all yes, and predicates to introduce themselves. I'm going to let him introduce himself because you know what? He's about, building business, man. I'm a businessman. And so the only way we're going to get out of this situation, baby, we got to build business. Without a doubt, we got to build business. That's the only way we're going to get out of this situation. So I'm going to let him introduce himself, and we'll get right into the dialogue. How you doing today, bro?
I'm doing well. I'm excited to be in the studio. I've been watching you on Facebook. It's neat to see someone else's studio set up. I'm looking around. I'm like right in the midst of everything. This is amazing.
Oh, man.
Congrats to you on putting all this together.
Oh, man, it's a blessing. I tell everyone, man, I get it from the young people. I borrow a little bit here, borrow a little bit there. It's a community thing.
You got to make it. You got to find things. You got to put them together, and you just got to try, right? You just got to try.
Got to. Let the people know who you are, what you do, and how you can, propel their dreams from the abstract to the concrete.
Oh, absolutely. So my name is Scott Henderson. I was born in Lincoln, but I was raised in Omaha. My family's been in Omaha since the late 1800s.
Okay.
I've got 3 branches of the family that all were kind of ethnic enclave entrepreneurs. So a couple of my ancestors are buried up here in the hill in Prospect Hill Cemetery.
Okay.
I've got a great-great-grandfather, a great-great-grandmother, and a great-great-great-grandfather that are up there.
Right.
And then on John Creighton Boulevard, the Henderson family migrated from Northport, Long Island.
Okay.
And this is a true story. The fact that there was a guy named Buffett here in Omaha wrote a letter back to to Long Island and said, Omaha's a good place to make a living. You should come on out. So my family came out and built 2 houses that still stand on John Creighton Boulevard. And that was when I was a kid. We'd come down and visit my great grandma and my great uncle who lived on John Creighton. Grandfather and his brother were Tech High grads.
Okay.
My dad started at Central and he finished at West Side. And my mom's side, South O side. So Polish family came to the packing plants, and my grandma had a beauty salon in her house. I'd go there as a kid and smell the permanents and hear the sounds and hear all the chatter and all that gossiping going on. But that was kind of like the Omaha is deep. There's deep Omaha in my blood.
Without a doubt. And I still live on John Creighton. I live on 38th Street. John Creighton is realistic. It's 37th Street.
Yeah, it's a long boulevard.
Yeah, it's a long boulevard. So John Creighton Boulevard, shouts out. I caught the bus on John Creighton Boulevard. So yeah, that's so we family, Henerson. We family,
that's
baby.
Good. Yeah, it's family.
We family because that's actually the Walnut Hill area.
Yes.
Walnut Hill. Yep.
Yeah. That's Walnut Hill Elementary School, right?
Yep. So what are you doing now, bro?
So my role is I'm the managing director of something called NMotion, which is a startup accelerator. And it was started in Lincoln with partnerships between the University of Nebraska, the Lincoln Chamber of Commerce, Lincoln Partnership of Economic, and a number of private companies that wanted back in about 2012, 2013. There was a movement across the country. This is like in the fallout of all of the financial crisis of 2009. That people said, you know what, we need to get more people starting companies again.
Right.
We need more economic activity on the grassroots. And interestingly, at that time, I was living in Boston, and I was part of a national private sector initiative that was in partnership with the Obama administration. President Obama said, let's do something called Startup America, which is reduce the barriers for entrepreneurs to come into the marketplace, take government regulation down. And then the private sector came forward. Steve and Gene Case from America Online fame, and as well as the Kauffman Foundation at Kansas City, said, why don't we go around and get the private sector, get businesses and communities across the country to say, we shouldn't just let entrepreneurship and technology be in 3 big cities. We need to have it in cities and towns and states across the country, all 50 states. And that became something I was part of called Startup America Partnership. And that was entrepreneurism as a movement. I got to see what was going on across the country. And I was in Boston at the time. Then I moved to Atlanta. But I saw what was going on in Chicago and in New Orleans, in Denver, Los Angeles, up in Seattle. A lot of great things, a lot of great people stepping forward. And that was about the same time NMotion was started, because that was that local group of people saying we should invest in our best and brightest talent, right? If we're not going to invest in our best and brightest talent, who will? Right. And I think that's any community you go to, that if that's the question you can ask, because no one's going to come fix it for you. We got to fix it ourselves. I love the word community because the root of it is coming together to fight together. We need to fight together because this world doesn't want us, right? I think we see that with the virus. We see that with all the climate change that we got going on. It is a hard scrabble to stay on this earth.
Yeah, the earth is really purging itself right now.
Yeah, I think it's watching too many Hollywood movies right now.
It cleanses itself. All the pollution that man is doing, all that stuff. Need some trees up.
That's right. Let's get the J. Sterling Morton wants more of that Arbor Day. We got to get more trees up there.
That's why I said Nebraska, baby. We are the essence. I mean, if anything's going to happen, it's going to come from here. For real. I mean, greatness is here. I believe greatness is here.
I agree with you. Think of all the models that we've created in this state, in this city, of how people can do things. I mean, I think that's the fun part of, well, I was gone for 20 years, right? So I left in 2000 to Atlanta, Georgia. I rotated from Atlanta to Indiana to Boston, back to Atlanta, back to Indiana, back to Nebraska.
Okay.
That's a big, I don't know how I did it, but that's why I did it.
Right.
But what I got to see along the way was different communities building up from scratch, this entrepreneurial tech ecosystem. And so to bridge it back to what was going on here in 2012, 2013, there was a group of folks in Lincoln saying, let's invest our best and brightest talent, and let's do it by putting money together that we can invest in these companies that they could, if they have an idea that could scale up in terms of the number of customers, number of employees, that actually is the best way to create jobs, the best way to create wealth, is get people to create companies, invest in them, let them grow and scale up. And then eventually that business will be bought by a bigger company, or it goes public on the markets. And that's when all of a sudden everyone who has a stake of ownership will benefit and see wealth appear in their bank accounts.
Right.
And what I noticed in the communities I was working in, those communities they had companies that had been invested in, had success. Because it's not a high percentage. It's not a high percentage shot. It's like trying to take a half-court basketball shot with one eye closed, right? It's not an easy thing to do when you do this high growth startups. A lot of things can go wrong, but when it goes right, and the folks that have owned a piece of that company then say, you know what, I need to pay it forward. I need to reinvest this back into the community. And they stay and they've helped build the next wave of companies. That's just layering upon layering upon layering. Right. And I mean, everyone points to Silicon Valley out there in West Coast. That's 75, 80 years in the making of people taking risks, succeeding, and then reinvesting back into the next great ideas.
Right.
Because you gotta bet, you gotta spread your bets across a lot of different people.
Right.
And then give everyone kind of a big hug in community connections, opening up Rolodexes, giving people an opportunity, first customer, all of these things. And so there's a long way of saying, telling a story of what I'm doing or what I'm up to, but NMotion is that. NMotion, I came back after being away 20 years, came back last September to the opportunity to take the reins over an organization that already created 54 companies or helped accelerate 54 companies.
Okay.
Right. And we've gotten some really great big wins. A company called Quantified Ag. Basically, it's a Fitbit for cattle. I don't know if you know this, but Nebraska's got 4 times as many heads of cattle as people living here, right? Yeah. So we are a cattle state. We are the beef state. And Quantified Ag was an idea that then got bought by Merck Animal Health Science that was paid for that. paid out to the people who had invested it and who had built it, and now they're reinvesting in future companies. That's actually that win, that exit, as we call it in the world of startups, gave us the money to then invest in the 10 companies that we're creating this year. We're investing a total of $1 million between private investments and the state of Nebraska matching through their innovation fund into 10 new companies. We already built 4 companies, and I'm in the process of putting together the next group. We call them cohorts of 6 companies that want to build a company from scratch that can go and create a whole new category, a whole new problem that hasn't been defined, build out a business and build out a product and then launch that. And what's great here, people think it sounds too good to be true, right? We're putting $100,000 in a bank account for that company and selecting the founder based on that founder's potential, not the founder's idea, not the founder's customers, not the founder's technology, talent, domain expertise, industry experience, is willing to work with us to build out and figure out what is that company we're going to create together, and that they'll be the next great Nebraska company.
Okay, all right. So they're looking for you.
Yeah,
they're looking for you.
Absolutely, talent's everywhere. As you said, greatness is here in Nebraska. And what's great for me is, I mean, having roots here, deep roots in Nebraska and deep roots in Omaha. Having spent the majority of my childhood in Omaha, I know there's great people here, and my time away, so it gives me time to reflect. I spent 13 of those 20 years in Atlanta, Georgia, and I got to see Black talent at scale. I got to see Black technology talent at scale. I got to see Black wealth at scale, and I also saw the everyday realities of those men and women that I knew that were very successful. The world and society wanted to knock them down, right? And dealing with the lived experiences that I never had to live with. It was I grew up in Westo, right? I grew up on the edge of the cornfields. Literally, when I was 5 years old, I couldn't go to school one morning because the neighbor's sow got loose. Big pig walking around and rooting in our yard. We couldn't go out because we didn't want to get mauled by that sow. That's how back in the day I was, back in '78.
Hey, somebody got to go through it, man. But y'all produce some great corn. It's a great bacon. It's teamwork, baby.
It is.
Everybody got a
teamwork makes the dream work. Oh, that's how it is. But it's interesting with the COVID pandemic hit. I was in Indiana. I was had just left a position at Purdue University, and I was planning to be nomadic for the year of 2020.
Okay.
But this pandemic really kind of hit me in terms of what was important to me. And my mom and dad still live here. They're 75, 76. They're in good health. My grandparents I've lost over the years. Most of my aunts and uncles still alive. And I came through here. I actually shot a documentary last summer about life in America. And that got me reconnected to a lot of people in Omaha and Lincoln. And I realized, between Silicon Prairie News, which has been a news publication about the technology startup scene, big Omaha events, other events happening, the music scene blowing up here, there was something special that had been built over the last 10 years in terms of more companies being created, more people being included. And what I thought was interesting for myself was I had an opportunity to do what I did in Atlanta. In Atlanta, I played a really modest role within the Atlanta technology startup scene, getting to the national prominence. But what I was doing was very intentional in creating connections. It's all about social connections, right? Relationships matter, as Anthony Goines likes to say. I think we for too long as a community, and I mean have broken it into pieces.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Right? West Omaha versus South Omaha versus North Omaha. It's easy to put this other out there. There's those others that are out there, right? And I look back and reflecting and realizing, how little I knew of North Omaha, what was really North Omaha lived experience versus what I'd saw it from afar, having grown up in Westo, but visited periodically, and realizing, that I'm just saddened by the opportunity squandered, the potential squandered because of people who were growing up in North Omaha who didn't have access to opportunity, didn't have access to a way to provide for themselves and for their family, to give them the tools, to give the money, to the education, to the introductions.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Right?
Like I said, it just sometimes just the introduction. And so it's the introduction is very important to the process. And that's why I tell everybody when I pay taxes, I use the whole city. You know what I mean? I use everybody. I go everywhere, Southwest, Northwest, Omaha. Heck yeah, I use the Bellevue. Oh yeah, I'm over there. Ralston. When I pay taxes, I'm using the whole city.
That's right. Right.
So I mean, so y'all need to stop that.
Hey, if you pay for the buffet, you might as well eat all you can.
Right now, baby. Right now, you gotta have flavor, y'all, and it's different flavor because when you come in North Omaha, different flavor from South and different flavor from West. But don't God like different flavor? Don't you got different different trees?
Well, look, diversity,
different flowers,
diversity of all languages. Like the prairie that was here before the European settlers came in. It was a very vibrant, very diverse, ecological scene, and very resilient. Do you know the prairie plants were 70% root structure? Almost all of that plant was below ground, drawing from as many resources as possible.
Right.
Because you got wildfires that came through. Those prairie fires were real. You had buffalo stampedes. You had grasshoppers that are coming in and swarming up and eating everything up. But the roots were there, right? And you draw from those roots. And that's where I think the spirit of the people, I think the landscape shapes the people as much as the people shape the landscape. And I think those of us who choose Nebraska, who've been born and raised here or find ourselves here, there is a spirit of resiliency. But I think the thing that we should remind ourselves is it's the diversity of perspectives that matter. And when in the world of company creation, the world of creating high growth startups, these companies that can build and get a lot of customers, sell a lot of product, and hire a lot of people, it requires diversity of perspective.
Right.
And one of the things that I saw that was beautiful in Atlanta, Georgia, was when we got the dominantly white tech culture that was right around Georgia Tech connected into the black tech community. With so many HBCUs, with so many folks that come to migrate to Atlanta, I met more people from North Omaha living in Atlanta than I did growing up in West Omaha.
Heck yeah, it's a lot of people. Yeah,
there's a lot of folk that have moved from Omaha to Atlanta.
Right.
But it was fascinating to me was you can get groupthink, you can get monoculture and get knocked out because you didn't have the diversity perspective.
Right.
And I think there's strength that comes from getting people who have lived different experiences to come together to solve problems.
Without a doubt, it's been proven scientifically that a diverse team will beat an all ethnical team any day, all day. So if you're all black team and you got a diverse team, you can't compete. All white team, all Mexican. That's why United States win the most gold medals every year, because if you look at our teams versus we go against the Chinese, the Russians, all of them look the same.
Yeah.
The Ethiopia, all of America, we have a rainbow of different. We have Chinese, that's Japanese. We got African. We got African American. We got a whole collection of individuals that's competing for us. That's why we have the most medals every year, because we have a diverse team.
I think that the easy thing to do is to other somebody, right?
Right.
We have this weird as a human species to say there's us versus them, right? And that competition for resources drives us. But it also blinds us, right? I think what you're saying here is that this idea of diversity of perspective on a team is superior. I mean, you're right. You're right.
Every day. I don't care what environment you put them in, because like I said, they all got different living experiences. It's like Star Trek.
Yeah.
I mean,
everything comes back to Star Trek or Star Wars. We know.
Hey, I'm a fan. I'm a star. I'm Mr. Spock. That's one of my heroes, for real, man. But you see the diversity and how they work together, and they all brought their strength at certain times.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I think that's the thing that gets me excited about coming back to Omaha and coming back to Nebraska is I've seen how it's been, how companies and companies can be created. I've seen how entrepreneurial ecosystems can be built. I've seen it in the big cities. I've seen it in small towns. And I have deep roots, right? So I've seen how you can do it well, very well.
Right.
And I understand kind of the lived experience of Omaha, but I also know there's gaps in my understanding, right? This is where I'm excited when you say, hey, you want to be on the show? Yeah, I want to be on the show because I want to make sure that everybody knows there's a door that's open.
Without doubt.
Yeah, the NMotion.co website, go to it, learn about all of the, if you're wanting to create a big high growth startup, you want to get, how do I get in the technology scene? Go to that website, check it out. We've got a lot of great programs. We've been operating since about 2012. We're now part of a national company called Generator.
Okay.
That was started about the same time as NMotion. And Generator is a Wisconsin product in Madison and Milwaukee. We operate in over 25 cities across the country.
Okay.
Mostly the Big Ten country, but we're up in Anchorage, Alaska. We're over in Cheyenne, Wyoming. We'll be in Denver, down in Oklahoma City. We reach all the way down into Florida and Alabama. And we even did something over to Luxembourg, over in Europe this summer. It was kind of crazy kind of stuff we're doing.
Right.
But what I love being part of this company, it was 45 people when I joined it. We're now 90. We've grown, we've doubled. And we're doing a lot of things beyond just startup creation. We do technology training, something called upskilling. We're working with Microsoft and LinkedIn to give people pathways to get entry-level technology jobs.
Great.
Right. And so that's blown up. We started northeast Wisconsin. Now we're going national with that program. It's giving people on-ramps into higher paying jobs. It blows my mind. It just blows my mind, the fact that the household income in North Omaha is $31,000 compared to $61,000 as the average in the state, compared to $82,000 in the rest of the city, Omaha.
Right.
And what we've seen through the pandemic is you can work from home, right? If you're given some tools and basic internet infrastructure, which I know we're working on as a society now, it evens the playing field. And I think that if people are now, if we get the technology out there, and even in the interim, before everyone has broadband in their home, as long as they have broadband in their neighborhood, they can still good high-paying jobs. So we want to find more ways for that. So that's part of our company's mantras, is how do we make sure more people have a ticket to that ride? We are doing the startup acceleration, meaning we help either existing companies go through a program. We just finished that program this summer. Plug Sports, if you're all at Native Omaha Days, they were doing an event on Saturday after the parade right here next door at Bryant Center.
Yep.
And they were one of our 5 companies that came through, Nebraska companies that we helped over 7 weeks, really articulate, how to frame out what is their company in terms of an investment opportunity for investors, and focus on getting more customers so that they can go in front of people who are writing checks for investments into these companies so they can grow and hire more people.
All right.
And so that's the kind of programming we're doing nationally and here in Nebraska.
Now, give your information out again so people can take advantage.
Yeah. So, hey, if you want to get online, go to the letter NMotion. I kind of like to say the N is nonstop because since I got here, it's been nonstop motion. NMotion.co, NMotion.co. And that's the website that you'd go to. We're on the social media handles are usually NMotion Startups. And the company that I work for is Generator. Generator is GENER and the letter 8 TOR, generator.com. And that's tells the story of everything we're doing across the country.
Great, man. We're going to have you come back again. We're going to have you come back again.
Oh yeah, I want to keep telling the stories of the companies and the people that we're investing in, because as I said, look, here's my final pitch for you. I have 5 $100,000 checks to write in 3 weeks from now.
3 weeks from now,
but 5. But you got to apply by Sunday. You got to apply by August 15th, this Sunday, at NMotion.co. Go to the Accelerator Studio. There's a banner up top. I'm looking to invest 5 $100,000 checks into 5 brand new companies, and we're going to roll up our sleeves and we're going to figure out what problem we want to solve together. And those 5 entrepreneurs, we're going to figure out that company, and by February, they will already have hit that start line and already got their first customers and already talking to their first investors.
All right. So we're bringing you the 411. See, now this is good, some good gospel, some good gossip to spread. Y'all be telling stuff anyway. Go ahead and spread the good gossip. Make sure you guys go to NMotion.co, in with that letter N, motion.co, and sign up. They're looking for 5 companies. They got $100,000. That's six numbers, y'all.
That's 6 digits. You have to put. That's 5 zeros. You have to put in there. And a comma.
With a comma.
And a comma in the middle.
Don't forget the comma. Don't forget the comma.
That doesn't include the decimal point.
Right. Yeah, we didn't include the decimal point yet. I got a quarter. We got to add 25 cents on that one.
That's right. I want to shout out to all the taxpayers out there, because half that money is coming because of the state of Nebraska having invested through the Business Innovation Act into Invest Nebraska, which is a fund that invests in companies like this. And so when we invest in a company, we put $50,000 on the table, and then Invest Nebraska, which is funded by our taxpayer dollars, puts the other half. And that's something I think that Anthony Goines and Director Anthony Goines of the Economic Development team, as well as Trayvon Brooks here in the North Omaha office of the Department of Economic Development, they're all doing their work, and all the team, Joe Fox, Dan Kernan, all those great people that are working out of the state offices, making sure that people in North Omaha have an opportunity, have a door open to have access to the networks and the people and the money of creating companies. So if you got a great idea, if you want to build something, you want to be part of this, I'd love to talk to you.
Without doubt. Make sure you guys go to NMotion.co. Again, shout out to our governor, because he's a businessman. And so he's been about business. And so if you got a business, you can be rewarded. And so we want to encourage you guys to start business. I'm telling you, most of the funding, excuse me, that's coming from the feds is going towards. All right.
That's how we solve it. We got to go out and solve problems in our community in a way that exchange goods, right? Free enterprise works. Free enterprise works, and mutualism works. My great grandfather, he had 3 kids, and when his wife left for Kansas City, he was a Swedish immigrant. And that's the family that's buried in Prospect Hill, the Floodmans. It was my great grandfather's business that he had built, and with the Swedish American newspaper, Swedish American groups, that enclave, ethnic enclave, with people doing business with each other and doing business with other ethnic enclaves, gave him the financial means to kind of provide for his family. But then when my grandma had to be put in an orphanage, it was mutualism. It was the helping each other out, when tough times come. Right. And I saw that in the Polish community in South Omaha with my grandma and my great grandpa. That was the truth. And I think we have, if we just, and I just spent
mutualism. I like that word.
Yeah, it's
that's actually that's like love thy neighbor, really.
Yeah, it's what it is. It's because bad things happen, life happens, right? And this whole idea of ethnic enclave and entrepreneurship and mutualism is the blueprint that's worked for across the state of Nebraska. This last weekend I was in Wilbur, Nebraska, the Czech capital of the world.
Czech capital.
Capital. We were doing kolache eating and a dumpling eating contest, and dancing and polka and all that stuff. But that's the same recipe: ethnic enclaves, entrepreneurism, and mutualism. That's the recipe. What we can do here in North Omaha, South Omaha, all of Omaha, is coming together and seeing ourselves as a community.
Without doubt. Man, we talked to Scott Henerson. He is the director, president, CEO, janitor of NMotion.
NMotion Accelerator Studio.
You can make sure you go to NMotion, the letter N, motion.co, and you can take advantage of the opportunity that they are presenting. 5 businesses, you can get $100,000 guidance, partnership to grow your business from the abstract to the concrete. And if you got something that has not been invented yet or developed yet, they're looking for you.
That's right. That's truth. Well, I appreciate you putting these airwaves together. I love your studio. I love the show. You're a good Facebook follow. I'll tell you that.
Oh man, appreciate it. I try to groom up every once in a while, Scott. I try to groom up every once in a while.
You got a barbershop down below. You should be looking clean every day.
Every day. Omaha, the burbs, the bluffs. Make sure you guys take advantage of these opportunities. I want to thank the CEO of Omaha Housing Authority for coming through. I grew up in the projects and that mutualism. I like that word. I'm gonna add to my vocabulary that we practice is necessary today. It's the only way we're gonna survive. It's the only way we're going to survive. I know we're in a capitalist society. And all capitalists, communists, socialists, as long as you got the list on it, you're going to fail. But now if you had practiced mutualism, oh yeah, now you can't lose, baby. You cannot lose, because that is a practice of your word is bond, which is higher than a contract. And so, and it shows true love for one each other. That's what we need to get back to. I love that word. I'm glad we brought you on, big brother. So we're never too old to learn. Never too old to learn.
I learned a lot listening to the earlier segment and just listening to you. So keep doing this.
Without doubt. We're going to reciprocate. We're going to continue to do God's work. Man, I'm glad you guys are taking advantage of the legislation.
Yeah.
I've taken advantage of legislation when Obama passed the Jobs Act 2012. And so right now I'm finna launch a crowdfunding campaign, equity crowdfunding campaign.
Oh, nice.
But I want to bring it across your eyes first before I push the button.
Yeah, happy to help. Always happy to help.
I can't. Sometimes you gotta go to the experts before you push the button, y'all.
Most people don't ask. I say that most people say they're gonna ask, but they don't ask.
Oh no, I'm asking live and living color.
Just ask for help.
Because we want to create local entrepreneurs by allowing unaccredited investors to participate in the NMotions.co to come. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We gotta be part of the ownership too.
Yeah, it's all about equity. It's about ownership. You get a piece of that puzzle, right? And as it goes up, we all split.
Without a doubt. Omaha, the birds of blessed. We are out of here. I want to thank my man, brother Henerson, again for coming down from Lincoln to bless us with this opportunity for 5 businesses to bring your idea from the abstract, it just don't have no form yet, to the concrete. He has $100,000 to make that a reality. Without a doubt, boss with us, y'all, baby. You know what we do over here. We actually love our neighbor. And Scott is one of our neighbors. Without a doubt. Make sure you guys go to NMotion.co. That's the letter N, motion.co. You can take advantage of growing your business. Without a doubt.
That's right. Own your future.
Own your future. Change the world.
That's right.
Any part of words, any shots out?
I'd just say this is, look, we all have burdens that we carry. We all have different lived experiences coming to this point. We inherited this world. I didn't ask for this world. It was given in this form. But we each, every day, have an opportunity to change the course of where we are. And I think as a community, we have to keep coming together. We have to keep listening, keep talking, keep having this dialogue, understanding where others are coming from. And I think shows like yours make that happen. So for everyone who's listening on this show and is an active audience, chatting there on the thread, thank you. Thank you for being part of kind of thinking through this world and what we can do to make it better. So
without doubt, I do got one comment from Omar Scott. He said the opportunities that are starting to present itself here in Omaha, Nebraska are looking great. And some of that is because of you with your radio show, Mr. King. Thank you, big brother. Trying to tell she has a business started out in California, but it's hard to get funding. I told her to move out here.
Yeah.
Without doubt, I mean, we got the Silicon Prairie.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
we do. Look, it's amazing the opportunities here, especially for the Black community. Doors have been opened wide, and now it's just step forward into it.
Without doubt, Amar, tell your sister come. She could actually tell her to go to NMotion.co.
That's a genius idea. I like that.
We don't care if she's in California. We'll have her move back.
Come on back. Back. I had a great talk with Northwest Husky graduate. She's in Atlanta, Georgia. She said there was nothing there for me in Omaha. And her mama still lives here. And she goes, I think it might be time for me to come back.
Right.
I came back after 20 years. My brother left 15 years ago. He's coming back. I think there's a lot of folks that didn't have that opportunity. Black community didn't have that opportunity 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. They're now seeing the opportunities that are here that could be a beacon. And we just get a couple. We don't need everyone.
Yeah.
Just get a couple.
Yeah,
get some wins, and they'll bring more, right?
Without a doubt. So Amar, let her know NMotion.co. She could take advantage of that $100,000 and then now be her ticket to come back. Without a doubt. Omaha, the Burbs, the Bloods. We're going to play this new song. Oh, yeah. Shouts out to my brothers. I got a call from Sarpy County Jail yesterday. Y'all know I love my community, you know. And then we actually follow Jesus. Didn't Jesus say, pray for your brothers and sisters and forgive them so they can be better the next time? Maybe I add that in my own Bible. But y'all know what Jesus said. So I got a call again for Sarpy. I missed the call, but they sent me some music. My brother, is suffering right now. And so we got to show some love because we got a lot of people who are suffering. One of the great things that I learned at Greater New Hope Baptist Church from my great minister, Reverend Kelly, he always said, never forget the sick and the shed in. All right? So I can't do it, baby. And so this song is a new song. I haven't heard it myself. You guys going to hear it first here on The Boss. My man, Brandon. Shouts out to Sarpy County Jail. Shouts out to Douglas County Jail. I know you guys listen to us all the time. Make sure you continue to rehabilitate yourself so you don't have to return. Boss with me.
I'm so used to people trying to desert me. Used to the people I love trying to hurt me. Maybe it's a sign from above trying to alert me, telling me the people I love don't desert me. Yeah, I'm so used to people doing me dirty. I cry to the people I love and no one heard me. Maybe it's a sign from above trying to alert me, telling me the people I love are unworthy. They left my side when I was miserable and helpless. That's why I had to get it off the muscle like a shellfish. The ones I love act like they ain't know where the jail is, but me on where my mental health is. Mentally strong, I ain't even gotta worry. I know God can go before me, so I'm giving God the glory. The ones I love act like they don't wanna support me, but they act like they wanna narrate my story. Finally starting to see these people ain't for me. They be around when it's sunny, but they leave when niggas stormy. Maybe it's a sign from above, a warning telling me if I keep loving these people, it's gonna destroy me. So I pray to God asking them to restore me, but it be feeling like he trying to ignore me. The ones I love got me feeling unimportant, plus I'm hurt because my baby mama turned for me, but I'm so used to people trying to desert me. I'm used to the people I love trying to hurt me. Maybe it's a sign from above trying to alert me, telling me the people I love don't desert me. Yeah, I'm so used to people doing me dirty. I cry to the people I love and no one heard me. Maybe it's a sign from above trying to alert me, telling me the people I love are unworthy.
Man, I'm so used to being hurt. Gave them my heart and they ran and straight through the dirt. Fighting these demons and they left me at my worst. And they got the nurse to ask me how can I be hurt. Yeah. They got this pain in my life, like I'm okay, but I ain't right. Went through the rain and the sunlight, sleep through the day and up at night. Cope with this pain to make it right, cause I won't let it take my life. Put on this earth with a purpose. No entertain all of that bullshit, it ain't worth it. This is myself and I realize that it ain't working. People that I love make me feel I'm worthless.
I'm so used to people trying to desert me. I'm used to the people I love trying to hurt me. Maybe it's a sign from above trying to alert me, telling me the people I love don't desert me. Yeah, I'm so used to people doing me dirty. I cry to the people I love and no one heard me. Maybe it's a sign from above trying to alert me, telling me the people I love are unworthy.
It's just a public service announcement.
Are you tired of hearing about the coronavirus?
Coronavirus!
Well, it's real.
I'm telling you, it's real.
Now, here's what I want you all to do for me. Check this out, man.
Don't panic. If you're sick, stay home.
Stay away from me.
Stay at least 6 feet away from others.
The most dangerous disease. Coronavirus!
Wash your hands frequently and practice good hygiene.
Stand and show these people what time it is, boy.
We can stop the spread of the virus.
Coronavirus!
Show me your mouth.
So stay home, stop the spread, save lives. Most importantly, let's check on our elderly.
Word up, you ain't going out like.
We're here to keep you informed.
Coronavirus! Just get it real!
Don't believe the hype.
In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.
Don't believe the hype.
It's just a public service announcement.
Are you tired of hearing about the coronavirus?
Coronavirus!
Well, it's real.
I'm telling you, it's real!
Now here's what I want you all to do for me. Check this.
Stay home.
Stay away from me. It's contagious.
6 feet away from others.
The most dangerous disease.
Coronavirus!
Wash your hands frequently and practice good hygiene.
Stand and show these people what time
Of the virus.
Coronavirus!
Show me your mouth.
So stay home, stop the spread, save lives. Most importantly, let's check on.
You ain't going out like that.
We're here to keep you in.
Coronavirus! Just get it real!
Don't believe the hype.
In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.
Don't believe the hype.
Hey, all my niggas gang. With mama up that frame. I'm dying about this money and he chain. I'm fucking with Lil' Shawty, she come from Spain. Hey, all my niggas gang. With mama up that frame. I'm dying about this money and he chain. I'm fucking with Lil' Shawty, she come from Spain. I'm riding, sliding, photo, blue Hussein. I wanna kick the bobo with you lame. I'm a player, she know I be running game. She love my mumbo jumbo, I be talking slang. I'm popping rhythm, shawty love my dialect. And I'm dying about these diamonds on my neck. And if I'm lying, then I'm flying, you can bet. I got tired of vibing, get no check. Hey, I pull up on you, bop. And I'm well connected, hot spot. Bop, you gon' get your top pop. I'ma let them shots stop. I'ma let the Glock pop. Hey, all my niggas gang. With mama up that frame. I'm dying about this money and he chain. I'm fucking with Lil' Shawty, she come from Spain. Hey, all my niggas gang. With mama up that frame. Dying about this money and he chain. I'm fucking with Lil' Shawty, she come from Spain.
First I hop in that scat. Big Glock, none in my back. Hey, go Glock, go tag. We ain't got time for no back. Trash, down in my young. Too comfortable playing that ground. I play with that 9 and stay in my hand. I get in the tussle, I pray don't jump. I'm late with the shooters. If I go to jail and I'm making a spread, then I'm taking your noodles. Taking my dick, get placed in the cooler. I'm fucking that bitch, he can't make me get noodles. Calling the kills when he went to jail. I heard he was fucking the CO. We won in the same. I was fucking my PO. I hit it good, she let me smoke on it.